Think about the first time you held an iPhone. Sleek, futuristic, like holding a piece of the future in your hand. Now imagine that same phone, sliced thinner than a pencil, lighter than ever before, and built with a kind of engineering magic that feels almost impossible. That's Apple's new creation, the iPhone Air. It's bold, it's beautiful, but it's also a risky experiment packed with trade-offs. And today, we're diving into exactly what Apple got right, what they sacrificed, and whether this ultra-thin device is truly worth your money. The design magic. Apple has always lived in that space between form and function. Every product they release is the result of 1,000 trade-offs. With the iPhone Air, they crank the slider all the way toward form. This isn't just another iPhone. It's thinner than a No. 2 pencil, thinner than an iPod Touch, and thinner than any iPhone before it, even the infamous one that bent. But don't mistake this for a lazy, shrunken-down version of a regular iPhone. Inside, Apple completely rearranged its parts like a puzzle. The compute, memory, and logic board are packed tightly into the top of the device, creating what Apple calls the plateau. That plateau leaves room at the bottom for one thing: battery. On the outside, the phone gleams with a titanium frame, smooth, shiny, and yes, a total fingerprint magnet. But it's strong, surprisingly strong. Even the buttons and camera controls are pushed right to the very edges to save every millimeter possible. The result? A phone that feels feather light in your hand, yet durable enough to survive daily abuse. It absolutely deserves the Air name. But here's the truth. Beauty always comes with pain. Small trade-offs. The first sacrifices Apple made to achieve this thinness are small, but you'll notice them. Take the speakers. To make room for more battery, Apple ditched the bottom speaker entirely. Now the only speaker is tucked into the earpiece at the top. That means audio is less full, less bass heavy, and noticeably one-sided when you turn the phone sideways to watch a movie or game. Accidentally cover that speaker with your thumb, and suddenly, you're left in silence. It's not terrible, but it's a downgrade you'll get used to. Another trade-off is eSIM only. Gone is the trusty little SIM card slot. For some users, especially those who swap devices often, that's a headache. But the average person might only notice once when they first set up their phone, and never think about it again. Apple claims this freed up space for more battery, maybe around 200 extra milliamp hours. Then there's 5G. The iPhone Air skips M-Wave 5G, the super fast but extremely rare version of the network. Unless you live in one of the few cities with consistent MM-Wave coverage, you'll probably never miss it. On the plus side, the Air comes with Apple's new C1X modem and N1 networking chip, delivering rock-solid performance on Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and Thread. Speed and coverage aren't the issue here, but one cut is just frustrating: the USB-C port. It's only capable of USB 2 transfer speeds. On a brand new iPhone in 2025, that feels lazy. Medium trade-offs. Now let's talk about the sacrifices that really start to matter. Cooling, or rather, the lack of it. The iPhone Air runs on the A19 Pro chip, the same powerful brain found in the Pro models. But here it's packed into a smaller, thinner, less ventilated body. Pro iPhones get vapor chambers and aluminum frames to dissipate heat. The Air? None of that. The result? It heats up faster during sustained tasks like gaming or 4K video recording. It throttles performance to keep cool, and while it never overheated completely, you'll feel the warmth in your hands. Then there's the camera system, or should I say, camera, singular. The iPhone Air has just one rear lens. No ultra-wide, no telephoto, no macro. For casual users, the main camera is excellent, easily one of the best at this price. But for anyone used to zooming or switching lenses, the limitation is obvious. Apple's digital 2x crop works fine, but once you zoom beyond 5x, the quality falls apart. And while the selfie camera is impressively upgraded, the missing versatility on the back is a deal breaker for some, especially creators and heavy photo users. Major trade-offs. Now we arrive at the two biggest issues with the iPhone Air: durability and battery. Let's start with durability, because this is where Apple shocked everyone. A phone this thin should snap like a twig, right? Wrong. The titanium frame is unbelievably strong, passing bend tests that would crush other devices. Sit on it, flex it, toss it in your bag. It survives. Ceramic Shield 2 on the front and back is more scratch-resistant than ever, shrugging off keys and coins that would normally leave marks. It even holds a 7 out of 10 score from iFixit for repairability, thanks to Apple's dual-entry design for front and back glass. Ironically, durability, the one thing people worried about most, turned out to be one of the iPhone Air's biggest strengths. Battery, though, is another story. Apple's decision not to adopt the new high-density silicon-carbon batteries in 2025 hurt this phone. Combine a smaller body with a standard battery, and the result is predictable. Weak battery life. You're looking at about 4 hours of screen-on time with low power mode kicking in by evening. That's on day one. Imagine 2 or 3 years down the road. For light users, maybe it'll be fine. But for power users, it's frustrating. Even worse, the phone charges slower than the rest of the iPhone 17 lineup. Apple's solution? A $100 MagSafe battery pack that barely charges the phone to 65%. Classic Apple. Sell you the problem, then sell you the accessory to fix it. A glimpse into the future. So what's really going on here? Why would Apple release a phone that makes so many sacrifices? The truth is, the iPhone Air isn't just a product. It's a statement. It's a preview of the future. A deliberate experiment showing where smartphones are ultimately heading. The radical engineering inside, every rearranged component, every miniaturized chip, every ounce of efficiency squeezed out of Apple's custom silicon, wasn't done just to make this phone thin. It was done to test what's possible. And all signs point toward one destination: the foldable iPhone. Foldable phones are no longer science fiction. Samsung, Huawei, and others have been refining them for years. And here's the key. When folded open, each half of a modern foldable is often thinner than the iPhone Air itself. Apple knows this. They're preparing for that leap. The Air is their trial balloon, a way to see if customers embrace a super thin device without panicking about durability or usability. If it works, the foldable iPhone won't feel bulky. It'll feel natural. In that sense, the iPhone Air is less about today and far more about tomorrow. So who is the iPhone Air really for? If you're a light user who values thinness, design, and that feeling of futuristic minimalism, this phone is a dream. Pick it up, and you'll instantly fall in love with how it feels. But if you need all-day battery, multiple cameras, and pro-level performance under heavy load, you'll probably want to look at the iPhone 17 Pro instead. Personally, I admire what Apple has done here. It's bold, it's risky, and it pushes the boundaries of what a smartphone can look like. But for me, the trade-offs, especially the battery and camera, are just too big to ignore. Still, the iPhone Air is more than a phone. It's a signal, a preview of Apple's future. And if history has taught us anything, when Apple takes a leap into new form factors, whether it was the original iPhone, the iPad, or the Notch, they often redefine the entire industry. So maybe the iPhone Air isn't the perfect iPhone for today, but it might just be the blueprint for tomorrow.